Hey, welcome back everybody. Welcome back to my channel. AmusedJester. My name is Junior. Today in this segment of the video, we are going to be showing how to install the uh, lower part of the Millennium Falcon. We'll do the rear section, which you don't see right now, and the port and starboard. Oh, port and starboard. I can't remember which one it is. Um, but I have you guys closed in because this is going to be kind of complicated to see. You'll also notice that I removed the drawers over here. It's just going to be much easier to do it that way. Let me go ahead and um, take one of the panels and start putting it in. Alright, so I have here the starboard panel over here. As I've shown you in my earlier videos, this is not glued in, this is removable. I believe that's the way it's designed to be. Just do a test fit really quick because you want to make sure that the screw for the landing gear is gonna fit exactly. And the cool thing is, what I was worried about this one is because there's a lip over here, how it's gonna affect it. By removing the jaw plates over here, what you're gonna do is you're gonna slide it underneath here. See, it's very easy. Slides in, and then just basically look at your landing gear, make sure everything's lined up, and the magnets basically just grab the whole thing up. It's a little bit over here, so we're gonna go ahead and start putting in some of these screws that I have. The only problem I have at this point is, what I've noticed is, in order for me to screw this in properly, I usually go behind the panels. But my issue is what happens when I'm screwing the top part, because I can't go back to this part. So I'm trying to figure out how to install this using the holes here in the inner ring, and try to avoid going there. But that's really going to be difficult because you're going to, it's like a small spot. So I don't know. I have decided to go through from the inside and then screw from here. That's going to be much easier for me at this point. But like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do once I have the lower part filled in and I'm putting in the top layer. I'll have to ask the group members to see how they're doing it. I don't know how much you need to clamp this in, or screw it in. Um, I just hand tighten it, and that seems to be enough. Because technically all you're doing is just kind of holding it in anyway. So let me go grab the second part and I'll move the camera really quickly. Excuse me. Okay, it goes this way. Like I said, just slide it in underneath here. And yeah, there you go. This, the magnets just basically grab everything. I'll be right back. So I also want to show that while this side of the frame is tight against this jaw, this part is has a gap for me. Um, it's not a big deal, I think, but this one here also is tight. As you can see, this one is loose, or there's a gap in there too. That's gonna be all covered up anyway. But yeah, it's not a perfect fit. But I mean, like my core is good though. See? So I don't know where. It's just one of those things. Yeah. All right. So for the bottom part, I'm gonna try to do it vertically. Of course, that's the harder way to do it. That's the way I roll. Always the hard way. Um, Again, there's another lip here and another lip here, but I do have magnets all around, so I'm gonna be coming in from here, slotting in here, and then go underneath the lip. When I put it in, and it should just slot back in. Let me grab it really quick. And here we go. That's a little bit more trickier. That's actually not bad. The magnets are holding it in pretty good. I guess you just saw me flip it horizontally. There's just a lot of gravity pulling against it, and as you saw me do it, I do it really, really carefully because so horizontally, you see this gap over here? That's because I feel like the frame is sagging a little bit. I didn't even check. You know what it is? I think it's because the bolts, I didn't align it properly. This one's good, but this one's not. Let me just hold on for a second. All right, now I've aligned it so that the bolts are in there. So there's not a lot of resistance going on. And it's kind of a little bit better. I bought wing nuts specifically for this, but I can't find them right now. I feel like maybe I still need to tighten it. You see there's a gap. Maybe once I tighten it, they will pull it in a little bit more. Are you guys curious as I am whether this thing is capable of holding the horizontal position without the chair? Because I currently have it propped, or kind of cheating by having it propped on this chair over here, right here. So I'm kind of cheating, but let's check it out. I'll pull it slightly. It's really scary though. The Falcon is now completely horizontal on its own thing. And it's actually not sagging anymore. What I did was I printed the sleeve over here. That's perfectly in there. I'll add it into the file if you guys want it. But it's perfectly goes in, and yeah, so that looks good. Let me put it horizontally, and we'll work from there. Wow, it's actually pretty good. I'm having a little bit of problem turning it because I still don't have the thing here to make it easier. So I don't want to force turning it because this is locked in to the aluminum foil, and I don't want to break the two things that I did here earlier that I showed you. So what I usually have to do is lift it from the middle and then kind of turn it. That's the only reason why I'm having a problem with it. I'm still gonna secure it on these just because if I'm not here, I don't want it to be being blown by the wind and having it flop over by accident. All right, so here's a little thing that I did, which is I added a spacer here to make sure it's the right height and everything. So this is no longer glued; everything comes apart. And then I cut I cut a notch on the carriage bolt. So basically, what happens is, I'm ready to put it in. Screw over here. Ta-da! Why is this one tight? There you go. Let me continue screwing this in and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've screwed in the landing bolts. I'm going to go ahead and put in the jaw underneath. If you've been following the construction of my jaw, mine's a little bit different. Mine actually has a removable panel over here. I did that not by accident, because I did design it that way so I can have access to the holes in here later on. But it ended up being kind of helpful for me because it would just make it easier, because this part is a little bit higher than it should be. I could probably just trim that off if I want to. Yeah, it's kind of tight over there. Once you have yours in, you'll understand what I mean by why it's tight. Like, it just needs a little bit trimming at the very edge. Okay. Put this one on really quickly. Wow. Yeah, man. It's kind of difficult. Let me show you the inside really quickly before I log off. So the reason I say it's kind of difficult is, see how if I had access to this whole thing, then maybe I could kind of reach it like how I'm doing here. But as it is, it's kind of small, and I would have to try to keep access to it because it's not a straight shot and everything. So I don't know. Eh, I think I think I'll be able to do it. It'll just, just not gonna be as easy as it was doing it on this one over here. So that's it. That's it for putting the lower part of the Millennium Falcon. Um, I'm not gonna tighten it right now because I might have to remove this once I put the mandibles in. I'm currently printing it now, the mandible plates, but my question is, because once we put in the pits over here, I think it might need to be glued permanently, and then the mandibles I think are permanently attached. I can't be right. How will I access the electronics? Huh, interesting. Anyway, so that's another, I'll post that in the Facebook group actually right now. So stay tuned. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you guys on my next review and my next build. Bye.